going on, my peeps? Your boy Versatile is back with another video. And yes, we are finally here to talk about that Samsung Galaxy S10e. Here's my review. And yes, the first thing we are talking about is software, specifically that Samsung One UI experience on this Galaxy S10e. It's been refreshing. It feels so renewed. The quality of work that Samsung put in to overhaul their software and to give us something that we enjoy using on their hardware. From the always on display and the plethora of ways you can use it, whether or not you want it always on, you just want to tap to show it, double tap to get into your lock screen, and sorry about the glare on that, to the many different clock widgets you get for your always on display and for your lock screen. Samsung definitely, as they always do, gives us a plethora of features that we can use to personalize our phone to us and make our phone different from other people's Samsungs and other people's phones in general. The advanced features you get when it comes to handling the rest of your lock screen, the ability for the phone to kind of pay attention to what you're doing on the phone, to let it know, okay, should I start shutting down? Should I start going to sleep? What's up? What's going on? With Smart Stay, the accessibility to just take the side of your hand and side swipe to get a screenshot. The ability to take long form screenshots on here. Samsung definitely stepped up in improving the fluidity of their software. And with the 6 gigs of RAM paired in my specific unit's case, Samsung One has been a pleasure to use. Now I will say, with the gestures before Good Lock has its hiccup moments when using the recent apps. Using home, using back, no issues, no problem. Using the software keys, the haptic buttons, if you went with that instead of the navigation gestures, fine. Using it, everything is fine. There's a slight weirdness when using the scrubbing at the bottom on the home button, for quick app access. But outside of that, the navigation gestures are fine. Now, I did address this in the navigation gestures video I dropped not that long ago, recently, that when you have the navigation gesture hints on, when you just got 3 lines at the bottom, you can scrub across the home screen button to access quick apps and quickly switch between apps. But when you don't use the hints, you actually can't swipe at the bottom on the home, because I guess technically there's no home button. So Samsung kind of weirdly implemented that for their navigation gestures. It's not that much of a problem to me. You can just swipe up with the recent apps, and you can access your apps that way. I guess I don't use it that often, so I haven't really noticed it. With Good Lock installed, it tremendously improved the navigation gestures in terms of the recent apps, and the whole functionality of the recent apps definitely improved. TK Bay did a great video on his channel. I'll put the link in the description below. Let him know, if you do check it out, that Versatile sent y'all to go check him out. He did a great tutorial on the Good Lock and how to utilize it, how to access it, and it's what convinced me to go ahead and try Good Lock out, and I'm glad I did. I don't use all the features of it, but I do use specific things on Good Lock to improve my experience using my S10e. And the recent apps, the gestures, is one of the main things I've been using to improve my experience in using this phone. Now, what else about the software has been so solid? Just the overall fluidness of the phone. The edge lighting is fun to use. I love using the edge panels. This phone is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And the software complements it very, very well. I have no issues with how they've changed their icons. I did like the wiry icons before that they had. The icons they have now are still enjoyable. They don't take away from the experience. Samsung did a great job there. Let's talk about that hardware. As you guys can see, outside of the fingerprints on the back, I got the Prism Blue, and it's been a joy to use. I've been rocking the case, but I just really love the feel of the hand of this phone, that it gives me joy. I messed that sentence up completely. I really enjoy the in-hand feel of this phone. From the edging, when you look at the aluminum that band or frame around the phone. It almost looks like it has a hint of blue in it to kind of finish out that look of the blue, but it does look like a polished platinum or polished, silver. The buttons, accessible. Home button, you get used to. It is kind of high, but you get used to it. And maybe they put it up there because some people might use the fingerprint sensor always on feature. And if you do that, just accidentally putting your thumb on the power button will unlock your phone. And so I turned that off immediately because I knew that could present some complications, such as your phone being in your pocket somewhere where you just out of sight, out of mind, and you just accidentally unlocking your phone and you got stuff going on. Jay Williams was talking about it in his video about how his fingerprint sensor be getting on his nerves sometimes. He'd be accidentally typing up text and almost sending stuff. So I definitely turned that feature off so that way I don't have that issue with my fingerprint sensor. Outside of that, since I haven't had that issue, my fingerprint sensor responds really quick, really fast. I turned the animations off between the lock screen to the home screen when unlocking because of the fingerprint sensor. Not to say that there's like some slight hiccup or lag in that specific area, but because the fingerprint sensor is so fast, you don't get time to really react to your lock screen. So if you do decide to just go and skip your lock screen and go straight into the phone, it momentarily shows the lock screen into the phone. And so I don't have that issue. I would have to press a button, of course, in order for the fingerprint sensor to activate, which is fine. The Bixby button, out of sight, out of mind. I've only accidentally tapped this once or twice. And it wasn't even when it came to trying to touch the volume rockers. I just accidentally, touched it when I was grabbing the phone. Thankfully, I haven't had an issue with that. You saw I was about to say I've never really had that issue, but that's because they were happening in two random different time periods that I forgot about. And so because of that, I have not had an issue with the placement of the Bixby button and with Bix Assist. Shout out to that company who made that. It's in the Google Play Store. Bix Assist allows you to remap this to Google Assistant, which I have. So now I just and she comes to my aid. So definitely great job on Samsung to allow us to remap this in general to any app. I remapped it to Google Home. I remapped it to Philips Hue because I have smart lights at home. And once I found out about that app, Google Assistant, baby. Outside of that, the color's real good, real fine. Of course, it will collect fingerprint sensor, It's a fingerprint magnet, so be aware of that. I've been very tempted to put a skin on it. But I've also been tempted to just rock the phone. I might put a skin on it. I got a couple cases. I just like rocking this phone in hand, so I might do a skin inevitably, as I've done in the past with several of my phones. What else can we talk about when it comes to this phone? Battery life. Now, as I discussed earlier, you can access always on display on the phone. From having it always on to having it only on at a scheduled period amount of time to just tapping the screen and for it showing up. I love this clock widget that they have here. It doesn't really drain your battery at all. I've been able to go through each day only charging it once and at the end of the day. So I get up for work around 8:30 to 9 a.m. to get to work by 10 a.m. And my phone's off the charger the previous night. So I'm waking up with anywhere between 89 and 92% battery life. I listen to podcasts or music on the way to work. And then I go through work in a congested network area in downtown or uptown Charlotte for 8 hours. So I'm not getting back home till about 7:30. And I still have around 30% left after that. Sometimes 40%, depending on if I did any scrolling on Twitter or Instagram, if I, took the time out to do any of that. Reading some articles, refreshing apps, having apps just running in period. You see my phone now wanted to collect notifications right now, but network congestion will also drain battery because your phone is constantly looking for service. And so despite having good service on this phone via T-Mobile, you still have congestion in the downtown area. And so, but despite that, I still leave and get home with 30 to 40% left. I know it seems like a wide margin, but it varies. Sometimes even 45%. It just really depends on what I'm trying to do, or if there's a lot of people downtown and my network is just like, yo, give me some bandwidth, somebody, please, please. But I don't have that issue. So I would say battery life is very good on here, because when I get home, I still sometimes wait to charge it until I'm about to go to sleep, like an hour or two before I go to sleep. So that way I go to bed with 100%. And sometimes I just get home, pop it on the charger, take it off. I use the phone the night before, wake up, use the phone, and still get home and charge. So it lasts. It can easily last 24 hours on one charge. If we put it realistically, if I don't put it back on the charger until about 7:30, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, I don't have to put it on the charger again until the next night. I average around 6.5 hours of screen on time, and you see the hours I'm getting on this phone. And so, you know, I play chess with my brother, but I mean, that's the only gaming app I really use on here. And so I can say that Samsung definitely stepped up their battery game with this phone. And of course, it's running full HD 1080p with over 430 plus pixels per inch. So that's another thing that also helps with the lack of battery drain, is because it's not running quad HD. Some would say, oh, why not quad HD? Why not? We don't need it. Like, 1080p is solid. 1080p is fine. It's still vibrant. It's still sharp. And we know Samsung displays are great. So if you're getting any Samsung phone, you're getting a great display, whether it's 1080p or quad HD. So quad HD is not a big deal. And for between 5.8 and 6.1, it's not that much of a difference that quad HD is going to be that much, superior. I can see quad HD on the 10 Plus, on the S10 Plus, on a bigger screen phone, on a tablet, yeah, because you're getting more screen real estate. But when you're looking at sub 6-inch phones to 6-inch phones, you really don't need anything more than 1080p full HD. You just need a quality display to output that image, and you get that on here. Speaking of images, watching video on here, solid and very fun. Whether or not you zoom in to get the full screen experience, or you leave your little letterbox bars on the side, you get a quality image that you're watching, whether it's on YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, Vudu, your own personal videos. You get solid video watching on this phone, and that punch hole or that infinity O does not get in the way, in my opinion. You really don't pay attention to it. If anything, it kind of gets lost into the video, and you're just enjoying the image, and you quickly, every now and then you might glance at it like, wow, man, this is so dope. I'm getting a full screen experience watching videos on here. And so for me, personally, I like that. I really enjoy watching stuff on here. Sometimes I force myself to watch stuff on here instead of my tablet, because I just enjoy watching stuff on here so much. You charge via USB-C. What else can you ask for in a device? Now, the reason why I held this to very last is because it's a category that seems to be somewhat divisive among people, and that's camera. That's the camera life, the camera capability on the Samsung Galaxy S10e and 10 series in general. To me, the cameras are very, very capable. Let's not whine so much about the camera, okay? It's not a physical camera that you're taking out and about. It's your phone. That being said, you get very good images out of here. You're not getting any images that people can be like, oh, what is that? No, that's not happening on this device. You're getting a very solid image coming out this device. Yes, you get some sharpening or some oversaturation in some instances, because HDR on here sometimes can be like, wow, that is a vivid image. But what did we buy the Samsung phone for? Why do we buy Samsung TVs? Because of the vibrancy in their displays. So we know that about Samsung, and we enjoy it. So let's not act like, oh no, the pictures, they come out oversaturated. It's not like crazy oversaturation. It just really gives you the vibrancy within that picture that you took. Now, sometimes the clouds can be blown out. I can understand that. But then there's cases where the clouds aren't blown out. So it is kind of picture by picture. Take it again, and you'll get good clouds, if you're taking pictures of clouds. Outside of that, pictures taking, very solid. Now, Nighttime pictures could use a little bit of help. It's not night. There, by no means is there night sight on here to the level that Google Pixel has implemented night sight on their Pixel phone, but you still get a okay image or a good enough image to post on social media. Let me put it like that. So yes, you could get pictures out of here that you'll take and post on social media and be happy with them. You'll get video on here that you could post and get solid images and get some likes and comments on them. The front-facing camera shoots in 4K, so you can get a front-facing video in 4K. That's crazy. Now the stabilization is lacking when you're shooting in 4K, which takes, it seems like that's often the case on phones. I mean, there's only so many phones. Maybe the iPhone XS Max, the XS Max has stabilization when you're shooting at 4K 60 frames, but you can shoot 4K on both sides on the phone. And you'll be fine. You will be fine. So that's my review of the Galaxy S10e from Samsung. It's a very, very solid, very, very good feeling phone that will fit your everyday needs and more. Write that as a slogan, Samsung. Let's go. But that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I've been rocking this. I love the Samsung. I'm all USB Type-C. And I'm loving the experience. So, without further ado, your boy Versatile signing out. And until the next video, I'm saying it for y'all already. You know what I'm saying? Wait for it.